Check out the fans' reaction on this video first.
All right, let's get to it. I'm tired of people acting obtuse when it comes to this Shedeur situation. He didn't want to go to Philadelphia. He didn't want to go to the Baltimore Ravens.
Sanders shocked the league when he told the Baltimore Ravens and Philadelphia Eagles not to draft him. That decision sparked outrage.
Because he knew if he went to either of those places, he's not playing in live action games unless one of those guys get hurt. No one wants to sit down and be the guy waiting for someone to be injured so you can get some live reps. That is insane.
Who learns sitting on the bench? Like who does that?
Yeah, you're going to learn a lot more being out there.
But Shedeur said he didn't want to back up Lamar Jackson, so he said no.
All right. What's wrong with that? Who want to go to the league and be a backup?
I agree.
Who are we talking about? It's Shedeur, the same guy that we thought was going number 1, number 2, or top or first round pick. Now you go in the 5th round. Why would I want to go somewhere where I can't play? Because you ain't playing with Lamar. I don't care what Deion, Prime, who. You ain't playing with Lamar ever. It's never ever going to happen, no matter how good he is. Shedeur was raised by Deion Sanders. He's going to have a lot of confidence. I'm a starting quarterback in this NFL league. Okay, I can't do that with Lamar. I can't do that with Josh. I can't do that with the Chiefs. But I can do that with the Browns.
Knowing that a team like the Ravens called him and he was like, "Nah, I'm good on y'all," does it change how you view everything?
Nah, I actually respect him more for that. Because what's he gonna do with the Ravens? He can't run. He gonna be doing read options. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm okay with him going to a team where I can play right now today. But he's never ever gonna play for the Ravens.
Yeah.
Never. But he could potentially, eventually, once they get an old man a seat, he might get on there.
He went to Cleveland because he believed if he went to Cleveland, he could either win out the job or we all know Joe Flacco is a bridge quarterback until they get a real quarterback in. If the Cleveland Browns do anything different, it just shows how much they're a trash organization. Joe Flacco is not the future. Let's just get that out of our minds. So there's a starting position either later this year or next year. Let's stop making Patrick Mahomes the standard for waiting a year and developing. Alex Smith was a bridge quarterback. You know how I know he was a bridge quarterback? Because they went 10-6, went to the playoffs, and they still got rid of him. That lets you know that the first rounder, 10th overall, was always in our plans to be the starting quarterback. If Shedeur Sanders knew that was the same setup for him, then he would go there. But that's not the setup in Baltimore or with the Philadelphia Eagles. So I don't know why you guys are still continuously saying, yo, it made no sense that he didn't want to go to either of these places. It made perfect sense. Even if you want to put in Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, who both, I think, waited 3 years. They still both were picked in the first round. That means the organization had in their minds, we're eventually moving on from our starter to have this person be our starter. That's the difference in all these situations. That the first rounder is more than likely in the plans to be the future quarterback unless they just not showing any progress or not showing the ability on why we picked you in the first round. Please stop saying that. And it's a lot of people who just straight hate Colorado and then a bunch of backup players who are like backups in the league. Like, go somewhere. The shit is not the same.
You're Deion Sanders, but you gotta shut up. Every time you open your mouth, you are setting your son's NFL career back. You are ruining your son's NFL career every time. Now, before the draft, we all heard you say you're not letting certain teams draft your son. And then he plummeted. And at the very least, Shedeur Sanders should have gone top of the 2nd round. Like, his numbers in college were unbelievable. And now we're learning from the media as well as you, because you won't shut the fuck up, ruining your boy's chances, that you turned down the Ravens and Eagles because you don't know anyone who's learned from the bench. Well, let me tell you something. Shedeur is not you. You were prime time extraordinary. Shedeur Sanders does not have prime time talent. And who's learned from the bench? Well, the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. Hell, Jordan Love sat the bench for like 3 years. And now he's killing it. And see, you have a problem with being cocky with your son's talent. And you're ruining his chances because now he's learning from the bench behind an overdrafted 3rd rounder, Dylan Gabriel. Just shut the fuck up.
There's a reluctance to draft him. There's a reluctance to give him first team reps during training camp. There's a reluctance to name him the number 2 quarterback. There's still another rookie quarterback ahead of him on the depth chart. So based off of those things that I'm observing, I think the kid is talented, but watching the organization, I would say no unless Joe Flacco is hurt.
I disagree. I think we're going to see him earlier than expected because I think their offense is awful. And I think that when you have your defense that's out there playing the way that they've played in 2 of the 3 weeks that they've played, showing you how elite they can be, then you can't continue to go week to week being as anemic and impotent offensively as the Joe Flacco-led offense has been. Eventually, obviously, you're going to put Dylan Gabriel in there. He's a bit undersized, even though he's skilled. He's a bit undersized, and I think that will be exposed come on NFL Sunday. And at some point in time, the fans there are going to clamor to see Shedeur Sanders, and I think that's going to be sooner than later. I'm not saying it's going to be the next 2 or 3 weeks, but I don't think it's going to take week 16 or 17 for this to happen. I think you're going to see it happen earlier, but by default, it's because their offense is significantly more god-awful than we suspected.
But how in the world can somebody fault him for saying or thinking, why in the world would I go back up Lamar for 10 more years? Like, who comes in with that mindset?
No, that's not where you want to go. If the goal is to be that guy and you want to be the player,
Right.
and the number quarterback,
And you want to get that opportunity.
Yeah, but where do these guys come from that sit on these platforms and say, oh, you should have sat in behind and learned the game and been what they developed? When have the pros ever developed anybody? I've never sat on the bench and said, well, I learned a lot today.
that is a great quote.
And now the backlash is everywhere. Fans are calling it entitled, saying he should have embraced learning behind proven champions. Social media is lit up with comparisons, pointing to Jordan Love, who sat behind Aaron Rodgers, or Patrick Mahomes, who learned under Alex Smith, and how patience built their success. Ravens fans are furious, saying he walked away from a playoff culture and elite coaching. Eagles fans are questioning his readiness, wondering how he could pass up a Super Bowl contender to land in Cleveland. Former players and analysts aren't holding back either. Scouts are saying it shows a lack of perspective, the wrong mentality for a rookie quarterback. The reality check is harsh. He chose Cleveland thinking it gave him a better shot at playing time, but right now he's sitting at 3rd on the depth chart behind Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel. That only fuels the criticism. People see it as pride over development, the wrong bet on the wrong team. Coach Prime defending his son hasn't calmed the storm. Instead, critics say the father's influence might be hurting more than helping, pushing star player thinking instead of rookie growth. The outrage is real, the narrative is loud, and the question keeps circling. Did he just make the biggest mistake of his career? Fans aren't waiting for the answer. They're already reacting. Thanks for stopping by.